Let's get some analysis on all of this with Denisse Rudich. She's the director of the London branch of the G7 Research Group and joins us from Garmisch at the G7 Summit. It's good to have you on this program. Thanks for joining us. Do you expect the G7 members to now put more sanctions on Russia?
I definitely do, yes. Earlier this year, they set up the Repo Task Force, so that's the Russian elite proxies and oligarchs task force. Before the summit, we saw that 4 out of the 7 countries issued or made commitments to issue sanctions on Russian gold. And that's basically because that's how last year they made, I think it was 15.2 or $15.5 billion in Russian gold. So it's a way of going after the oligarchs. They've also indicated today, after they met with President Zelenskyy at the Ukrainian, they issued a statement on Ukraine that they would also go after perpetrators of war crimes and atrocities, and also continue to target some of the technologies that's used for the defense and building Russian arms and defense.
Do you think these sanctions are having the desired effect? I mean, so far we've seen Russia default, but it's not because they don't have the money. It's just because of the sanctions, they aren't able to pay.
That's right. I mean, you know, this is the first time that Russia has defaulted on its foreign debt since I believe it was the early 1900s, which is, you know, which is pretty huge. We have over 7,500 people that have been sanctioned, people and entities that have been sanctioned. There are trade embargoes on marine, aerospace, not agriculture, no, but a number of industries in Russia. And we do expect, the idea is that there's going to be a compounded impact on Russia. And I think, again, when the G7 and G7 countries committed to removing Russia from the SWIFT network, that also had a major impact, specifically around Russia being able to access its foreign reserves. So that's $600 billion that they just can't get their hands on at the moment. So in terms of the on the ground impact, you know, that's a little bit of a more challenging question, because you do see kind of, you know, some advances being made, but it's, you know, the nature of war. Things move forward and things move back, and the tide can turn very quickly.
Yeah, and of course, the impact's not just being felt in Russia, it's being felt all over the world right now, compounded by the fact that we are coming out of a 2-year pandemic. The G7 leaders want Russia to unblock grain exports from Ukraine so that a global food crisis can be avoided. But can you actually see Moscow doing this? And if they don't unblock these exports, how's it going to impact consumers who are already feeling the pinch from rising food prices?
On the one hand, you know, this is affecting not just countries that are supporting Ukraine, but it's also affecting some of Russia's allies, who also depend on Ukrainian agricultural products to be exported to their countries. So I would like to say Russia is definitely going to, you know, set up a path for food and, you know, for food and agricultural products to be exported. But that's a bit of an unknown at the moment. What we are seeing is rising inflationary pressures, as you mentioned. You know, food and well, oil and gas. It's a different conversation. But you're looking at more than 10% inflation, and that's hitting the pockets of, you know, people like your family and my family, and just individuals who really would see themselves as not having a connection. So definitely, there needs to be some action. The G7 have asked for Russia to please, you know, support the free flow of food and agriculture. And I think it's just a wait and see, just because, again, it would benefit Russian allies as well for that, for the movement of food to continue.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Denisse Rudich.